I always thought my father was my hero. Until I found that letter. Have you ever wondered if you really know the people you love? I thought I did until I opened that box. My name is Susan. I'm 52 years old, and I'm a math teacher. Numbers make sense to me, but people, not so much. My father was always my rock, the one who gave me strength to keep going. I never imagined that a simple piece of paper could change everything. But that afternoon, while cleaning the wardrobe, I found an old, crumpled letter. And the truth hit me like a punch. How could my father hide something like this from us? My father always encouraged me to follow my dreams. Even when life felt too predictable and routine, he pushed me to step out of my comfort zone. I love my small town and my quiet life, but after so many decades, I started dreaming about leaving and traveling to see some parts of the world. I was curious. My mother, on the other hand, thought it was nonsense. She would say that real life was right here, where I was. But my father never agreed with her. He believed I deserved to explore more and see beyond the familiar. One day, an incredible opportunity came up, a math competition in Paris. For the first time, I would travel abroad. I was so excited. It was supposed to be my first time traveling abroad, representing my school in a math competition and experiencing something new. But just as I was preparing to go, my mother got sick. Suddenly, my plan seemed selfish and impossible. My father, already older than my mom, couldn't take care of her alone. I knew I had to stay. It made sense. Family always came first. I always loved being home, and there was no reason to be alone in my own place. I thought I was doing the right thing, but it wasn't easy. I gave up my job and moved in with my parents to take care of them. Bills were piling up, the hospital expenses were overwhelming, and I felt useless for not working anymore. One day, when I couldn't hold back my frustration, my dad looked at me and said, "Taking care of your mother is not being useless. It's an honorable job. You're doing more than most people would." His words gave me strength to keep going. One morning, my mother didn't wake up properly. She was confused, staring at the wall, whispering names from the past. I took her to the hospital, and that's when the doctors said it, dementia. She started forgetting everything, even me. I was heartbroken. Still, I tried to stay strong, but deep down, I was falling apart. My father remained strong for both of us. He seemed calm, almost too calm. He was always by her side, holding her hand, telling her stories like nothing had changed. I thought he was handling it well. But then, just a few days later, without any warning, he collapsed. His body gave up. No pain, no words. No warning. No signs. He just left. I was devastated. My whole world collapsed in a second, didn't even have time to process it. And yet, the hospital bills for my mother kept arriving. The funeral expenses, too. These both huge bills were piling up, and I was drowning in grief and responsibility. I didn't know how to keep going. I was alone. Completely alone. Months went by. I didn't know what to do. The only thing that kept me standing was taking care of my mother. But even that felt empty sometimes. To help with the bills, I decided to sell some of my father's old belongings. I opened his wardrobe, something I hadn't touched since he died. Deep in the corner, I found a small, rusty tin box. I sat on the bed and opened it. Inside, there was an old, crumpled envelope. The stamp was still intact. It had never been sent. My hands started to shake. I opened the letter, and everything changed. It was a love letter. Not to my mother. It was written to another woman, someone from his youth. He wrote about running away, about traveling the world with her, about not wanting to stay. And then, at the end, he said he'd try to do the right thing because his girlfriend had just told him she was pregnant. That girlfriend was my mother. I started crying. He loved someone else. He didn't want to stay here. He wanted to run away and travel the world, leave me and my mother behind. I almost fainted. My hero didn't even want to be near us. I was desperate. He wanted to explore the world, just like I wanted to when I got the chance to go to Paris for the math competition. I thought that trip could change my life, and he once wanted the exact same escape. At the hospital, my mother kept asking about my father. Her voice was weak, but full of love. She would smile and whisper, "Where is he? I miss him so much." I had to smile back and pretend everything was fine. But inside, I was broken. I couldn't tell her the truth. That letter. It would destroy her. I carried that secret alone, and it started eating me from the inside. I stopped going to the hospital some days. I couldn't look her in the eyes. One night, angry and overwhelmed, I smashed a photo frame of the two of them. My father always told me to follow my dreams, but he didn't follow his. He wanted to escape. He didn't want this life with us. Those thoughts haunted me. I couldn't sleep. That's when I decided to find help. Therapy was expensive, and money was tight. I started taking the bus to save what I could, which was very uncomfortable. But it was worth every second. Because you helped me, Isabel. I remember my first sessions with you, Isabel. I was numb. I felt betrayed, abandoned, confused. But week after week, you helped me see things differently. You made me understand that love is not about never having doubts or temptations. It's about what you choose to do when those moments come. My father was young when he wrote that letter. He had dreams. He was scared. But in the end, he made a choice, and he stayed. He didn't follow his feelings from the past, he honored his commitment. He loved us not with words or passion, but with presence. With sacrifice. You helped me see that. And slowly, my pain started to make sense. The letter wasn't proof of betrayal. It was proof of a man who chose to love every day, even when it was hard. I learned that love is not about what we feel in a moment, but about what we decide to be over time. True love is about being faithful and serving, even when the feelings fade. Feelings come and go, but choosing to love and sacrifice builds something that lasts. My father showed me that love is about staying faithful, fulfilling duties, and being there, even in silence. Passion and excitement disappear with time, but loyalty and commitment build a life. My father didn't just stay. He decided to love us. I tried to tell my mom many times. I sat beside her hospital bed, looking at her tired eyes, her fragile hands. But every time, I stopped. Her health was still unstable, and deep down, I knew. She didn't need to know. That letter was never delivered, and now, it didn't need to be. My father was faithful, not to his old feelings, but to his choice to love us. Until his last breath. He chose us every day, again and again. I don't have to carry bitterness. He wasn't perfect, but he was loyal. There's no reason to hold on to an old, immature love that never happened. Love isn't about chasing emotions, it's about standing where you chose to be. And my father chose to be a husband and a father, even when his heart once wanted something else. My mom was finally discharged from the hospital. We went back home, just the two of us. Things weren't easy, but we started to adjust. Her mind was still fragile, but somehow, she found peace in the quiet routine of our days. I began giving private math lessons to help with our income. It wasn't much, but it gave us stability. Our life became simple, focused on care, presence, and small victories. I chose to serve her, to stay, to be faithful to what life gave me. Just like my father had done. And every time it feels too hard, I remind myself that love is not always exciting, but it's always a choice. One I make every day. One evening, I sat alone in my room, holding the letter one last time. I read it slowly, feeling every word. But with different eyes now. I didn't see betrayal anymore. I saw a man at a crossroads, who chose responsibility over escape. I lit a candle, held the letter above the flame, and watched it burn. He should have burned it himself. Maybe he just forgot it existed. He was too busy loving us. I repaired the broken photo frame and placed it back on the wall, right where it belonged. And now, whenever I feel tired from taking care of my mom, when being faithful feels too hard, I look at that picture of him. It gives me strength. Because I understand, deeply, that my father loved us not by running away, but by staying. And I want to show the world. That's my father.
Thank you, Susan. I am so proud that you managed to find meaning in your life. It's common for people to want to tell everything they discover, to clear their hearts, but sometimes reality shows us that more than a past passion, what truly matters are a person's actions. He chose to stay. He chose to love. And you, what would you have done? Would you have told your mother? Would you have chosen to hate your father for something that never even happened? Do you believe he truly just forgot about the letter? Or chose to let it go and live the life he committed to? This was the story of one of my patients at the end of her treatment. Her name was changed, and the details were adapted with her permission. I will keep posting these stories from my psychological consultory to help you learn English and reflect on life, because I believe these are not just stories, they are stories that heal, teach, and transform. And your story matters too. If you want, share it in the comments and I will do my best to answer you with my therapeutic insights. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, activate the notifications bell and share this video with that friend who might need to hear this story. I see you in the next video.